Coming up on Mountain News this morning, Kentucky legislation is now entering the veto period as lawmakers scramble to pass bills over the weekend. And a kind-hearted soul has started a new group dedicated to bringing donations to children in need.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, I'm Olivia Calfee. We are just past 6:30 on Monday, April 1st. Now let's send it over to meteorologist Mace Michaels for a look at your forecast this morning.
Olivia, a warm beginning to the day. Mostly cloudy skies, temperatures when you step outside, you notice that warmth right away. We are in the upper 60s. There's a little more humidity in the air as well, so it's nice to feel those milder readings. Stepping outside to even 70 degrees at this hour in Harlan. 60s over most of the area, just a couple of pockets of 50s like Wise and Grundy and also around the Ashland area. We have had a mostly cloudy sky throughout most of the night. This is ahead of some showers that are trying to develop. Looks like there might be a little shower or two that's trying to pop up here closer to Louisville, and then other showers and storms through the Ohio Valley back on into the Central Plains. Flood alerts for later tonight. Jackson northward through Tuesday night. That's a flash flood watch, along with a slight risk of severe weather from the Storm Prediction Center in those same areas, with a marginal risk over the rest of the region. We'll get into more detail on tomorrow coming up, but there is a slight to enhanced risk for severe weather tomorrow, so a little better possibility as those storms develop. We get you out the door, though, this morning with just a few storms for today. It is dry at this hour. Temps warm through the 60s on up into the 70s. Again, more on the details of timing of those storms coming up, Olivia.
Mace, thank you. A man was found dead in the water at Yahoo Falls in the Kentucky area of the Big South Fork. The body was identified as 23-year-old Isaac Lee Turpin from Somerset. His body was found Friday by park visitors. He was pronounced dead at the scene. An investigation into his death is ongoing. In Frankfort, several high-profile bills were not passed by lawmakers before the end of the veto period. Senate Bill 6, called the DEI bill, would deal with preventing students or staff from having to endorse divisive concepts on campus. And Senate Bill 147 would ensure that adult-oriented businesses, including drag performances, are away from places where children congregate. Lawmakers also advanced a new road fund that includes $5.2 billion in spending over 3 fiscal years. Included is a key widening of US 27 in Lincoln and Garrett counties, which is part of a project that's been discussed for decades.
Look at school traffic, all our school traffic, the traffic from Lincoln County, Somerset, everything travels 27 going north. So that will open that up and relieve a lot of pressure.
The General Assembly will convene in 2 weeks on April 12th and must adjourn on Monday the 15th. And you may be wondering what the veto period is. Once the General Assembly passes a bill, it goes to the governor's desk. He then has 10 days to make a decision on it. That's the veto period. He can sign it into law, let it become law without his signature, or veto it. If the governor vetoes it, lawmakers could override it with a majority vote. When lawmakers come back April 12th, they won't have enough time to pass a bill and override a veto. That's why they scrambled to pass bills before the veto period started. A Corbin family wants your help expanding their efforts to help children and families in Central Kentucky. Tracy Watson started the Just for Kids free group on Facebook. What started as a trade for what people didn't want turned into thousands of donations for children in need. They were able to help hundreds of kids for Christmas, provide cakes and presents for birthdays, and made sure kids had an Easter basket full of candy. Now they want to provide help on the go.
Posted everything unwanted I had in my house, which was my ideal to start the group, hoping every parent in Corbin would shop it and post back what they felt was fair. Then I would shop it to get my kids' stuff.
They eventually want a home base and even advisors who can help them help more people. Folks in Wolfe County gathered for a standard Easter egg hunt. However, officials are working to help a little boy in their own community. WYMT's RJ Johnson explains.
Each year, several organizations host an Easter egg hunt for the Wolfe County community and beyond.
We worked with the Christian Appalachian Project, and they provided Easter baskets for almost every kid here. And we got, I'm not sure the number yet, but I'm sure that we got quite a few kids, it looks like.
Hazel Green Food Project President Nikki Stacy says every year they give away bikes and other items for kids in the community. But this year looks a little different.
Well, we don't have as many bikes as we did this year because we are asking people who usually donate bikes and stuff to help little Cade Halsey,
who has a condition called craniosynostosis, which is when someone is born without a soft spot. Cade and his brother were both born with this condition.
So they have to have something called a cranial vault reconstruction, and it basically reconstructs their skull to where they'll have the soft spot that they didn't have at birth to allow their head to grow.
Cade's mom, Katie Halsey, says Cade will have surgery this May for the second time. As a school nurse, she says to be on the receiving end of help is heartwarming.
It's been unbelievable. I didn't realize how many people I had in my corner. So the 205 gas station down here, they're going to give me a check plus like a certain percent of the daily sales for yesterday and today. That, and then the school, my church, the fire department, the pantry, they're all donating money to me, and it's been the biggest blessing.
With her community by her side, Katie says she doesn't know what she would do without them. In Wolfe County, RJ Johnson, WYMT Mountain News.
Stacy says they will continue helping anyone in need in their community, adding they would not be able to help without the support from people that donate. There is growing buzz surrounding beekeeping, and the Perry County Extension of Agriculture and Natural Resources is educating folks with interest. A beginner's class to beekeeping was hosted by the Extension Services in Perry County. Speakers from the Kentucky State Beekeepers Association talked to people about tips and tricks to proper beekeeping. But Larry Young says if people are really interested in beekeeping, they should continue to devote their time.
They need to stay on track with devoted time and interest and learning. They don't need to just stop with this one class. They need more classes, and we make those classes available through monthly meetings.
Young says he travels to various associations across the Commonwealth talking about various topics surrounding bees and beekeeping.
It's a warm morning this morning. You're waking up to temperatures in the mid-60s if you're around Moorhead, and our sky is mostly cloudy. See a little cloud cover there glistening off the lights, well off in the distance in the background. Area temperatures are warm. Everybody's mild. Even Harlan, you're starting off at 70 at this hour, 68 for Hazard. A little cooler in Ashland at 55 and Wise at 59 degrees. Mostly cloudy throughout the region. Watching just a shower or two trying to pop up, maybe one north of Monticello. Isolated areas of rain here towards Louisville and west along I-64. We will see more development of showers and storms to our north. That'll stay to our north, but development back here into the Central Plains could be a concern for later today into tomorrow. Flood watch is out for the northern tier counties of the region, Jackson northward, with a slight risk of severe weather in similar areas and a marginal risk over all of the region, and a slight to enhanced risk for severe weather throughout the area tomorrow. So yes, we'll be watching storms, and that's why it is a first alert weather day. 60s and 70s for our temperatures today. 60s this morning, 70s this afternoon. Full forecast on the rain timing coming up, Olivia.
Thanks, Mace, and thank you for joining us. The time is now 6:39. Still to come on Mountain News this morning. Crews are working to open an alternate channel for the Port of Baltimore after the catastrophic bridge collapse last week.